Hey YouTube. Yep, I'm exposing the industry yet again, as if you couldn't tell by the fact that I'm wearing the same clothes throughout several of my videos. I'm going to go ahead and do a few videos tonight while I'm feeling really good because I'm having dental surgery with wisdom teeth and root canals, and a root canal. And I don't know when or how I'm going to be feeling. So if you see me from time to time in videos wearing a patch thing, no, I haven't recreated today. It's just I'm slotting these in at various places. So my topic for today, I wanted to focus on kids whose parents are going blind, have gone blind. Usually these parents are elderly. I know that there are exceptions to this rule, and just mainly some suggestions of what you can do and maybe some things you should probably consider not doing to better help your loved ones through this process. Number one, the first, foremost important thing, don't assume. Ask what they need help with. They are still that same person that you knew before they lost their sight or started losing their sight. Talk, communicate. It's okay to say, I don't know. We'll go figure it out. They definitely might want and appreciate your help doing some research, especially if computers already weren't their thing and they don't know how to use screen reading technology. They would probably really appreciate that. Definitely help with that. They might want for you to help call and make appointments. Totally help with that if they want it. Equally, they might not desire that. You know, there's a fine line between respecting somebody's independence and rushing in and doing everything for them. There's going to be times that your parents or loved ones are going to struggle doing something. That's okay. That's life. You're gonna struggle doing things too. Everybody does. So if you rush in at the first sight of them struggling, that reinforces to them, hey, I don't think you can do this. And that's what you do not want to do. Now, if they turn around and ask, hey, I don't know where I set my phone. I don't know where I set my drink. Then, don't be a dick and be like, find it yourself. Probably shouldn't do that. Help, orientation and mobility is a big one to try to help arrange with them when they feel ready. Definitely, I would suggest any professionals. Orientation and mobility is how you walk around and get from point A to point B. Ask their eye doctor about that. Find some low vision centers. You can get this thing called a low vision evaluation, and this doctor will come in and suggest different technology and different resources in your local community. Take advantage of that. Realize it's an adjustment period for your parents. Chances are your parents were used to driving, to being able to go from point A to point B by themselves. Understand and try to show them grace as they're forced to give up that independence, because that's not easy. And it doesn't mean you have to coddle them, kiss their butt, and tell them they're freaking heroes. Let's not get overboard. But have some grace. Show some compassion. Also, remember, it's not your job to be their full-time caretaker. It's not their friend's job. It's not their spouse's job. If a full-time caretaker is going to benefit them, then you're going to want to look and hire somebody for that position, because people they start to feel resentment when they're forced into a full caretaking facility position on both sides. The person going blind feels like they're no longer seen as a wife, mother, husband, son, daughter, whatever. They feel like they're seen as kind of a burden. and the things that they can do, no they can't do, and they're almost being treated like a child. On the other side, it feels like you've lost your parent or your spouse, and now you have to take care of them. And that causes some resentment and some problems. So try to avoid that. Again, that totally doesn't mean don't help them. It just means keep things kind of in perspective. Another thing I kind of like to suggest, if you can afford it, and I know not everybody can, I most certainly cannot, but if you can, I would highly suggest hiring a driver, for the simple fact that you'll know that you'll get where you need to go when you need to get there, and also it creates a different relationship dynamic. They're not someone driving you around. You're not at their mercy. You are paying them to provide you a service. If they don't provide that service up to your standards, you fire them and you get a new driver. That's how it is. You're not waiting on Uncle Charlie, who said he'd be here at 4 o'clock to take you shopping, and it's now 6 o'clock, but Uncle Charlie decided that something else was more important. You're not put in that kind of position. So if you can, like I said, definitely pay for a driving service. Now, there are paratransit options in some locations, which I encourage you to look into. Find out about the advantages and disadvantages of the ones in your area, because they're all varied. Some are great, some suck. If your loved one has access to reliable public transportation, buses, trains, trams, ferries, whatever, help them learn how to use that. Get with an O&M instructor, see how you can facilitate them learning those skills, because that's going to be huge. Isolation is a huge problem for older people in general. It increases as a problem for older people with disabilities. The ability to get around and travel is the best thing that you can do for your aging parent. Making sure they have the skills and confidence, if they are medically able, is huge. Not taking away their independence and the things they can do is also huge. And continue to see them as your mom and dad, not as a burden, not as something, or someone I should say, that needs to be taken care of, but as that same person who you've gone to for advice and who loves and nurtures you. Obviously, if you have that kind of relationship with your parents. If you don't, then consider, continue to see them however you see them. But that's the big takeaway. Just remember, they're still your parents. They're not an alien. And show grace. And hopefully they'll do the same with you as you navigate through this. And as always, don't be afraid to reach out. For you both. If mental health services is something that's going to benefit them or benefit you, reach out. There are organizations and programs for the family of blind people and people who have recently gone blind or who have been blind their whole life. If they need to, reach out. If you have any direct questions for me, please feel free to comment down below. I'll get back to you. Or you can email me at blyndd1@gmail.com, or find me on Facebook. The easiest place to find me is the Blind and Visually Impaired Support Network group. I'm the one that will post my videos, or you can ask someone. You can just throw up a post, hey, where's that blind chick? Blind, BLYNDDE. If you just spell BLIND, you'll get a lot of commenters, which if you're looking for totally blind chicks, but yeah, or throw your question up on there. That group is full of family members, friends, blind people, a good cross-section, and they are just as capable of answering these questions as I am. I'm not the be-all, end-all expert on blindness issues. So thanks for watching, and hopefully this has helped somebody.